It strikes me that the title of the book, Simply Christian, suggests that you're attempting here to articulate an interpretation of Christian faith which is not narrowly defined in terms of a particular denominational tradition or limited to your own Anglican tradition.
Yes.
Is that correct?
That's absolutely right. And one of the things which the publishers had as a little glint in the eye when they were setting this up was the parallel with C.S. Lewis's Mere Christianity, where, of course, Lewis had this thing. It was quite a powerful theme in his writings that he was fed up with people talking about Christianity and the social order, or Christianity and world renewal, or something. And he used to say, no, what we need is mere Christianity. That's quite enough. And so he tried in writing that book to do it in such a way that anyone, whether they're Roman Catholic or Baptist or Eastern Orthodox or Pentecostal or Anglican or Methodist or whatever, would be able to say, yes, this represents the heart of the faith as we know it and as we've received it. Obviously, I am an Anglican, lifelong Anglican, so people from other traditions may well look over my shoulder and say, you think that's mere Christianity, simple Christianity, but in fact it's got an Anglican tinge to it. Well, so be it. But my sense is, from a lot of conversations with people from many other traditions, I mean, like you as Methodist, but we're kind of close cousins, but there are many others further out, and I think that at least much of what I say, and I would hope almost all of what I say, is something that people from very, very many different traditions can actually relate to. I'd be interested to know your views on that. I mean, reading it as a Methodist, were there points where you felt I was actually digging you in the ribs or poking you in the eye, or did it all kind of sit happily?
No, I certainly didn't feel poked in the eye. I think that your particular Anglican tradition gives you a richer appreciation of the significance of the sacraments and a certain sacramental style of worship that is characteristic of most United Methodists in the United States. But I experienced that not as a dig in the ribs, but as a welcome enrichment. And I think the book does provide avenues of connection to the much longer and older tradition in the Church of encountering Christ in and through sacraments.
Yeah, I would hope that's so. I mean, my sense is that over the last decades, various different traditions that one had thought had painted themselves into corners of very low church or very high church or whatever, have started to think differently and to explore differently and to put the package together in fresh ways. And so that, for instance, in the charismatic movement, which started off very much as a free church thing, often when people in the charismatic movement have rediscovered the importance of their own bodies and the importance of God doing business with their bodies and healing and so on, then they've started to reflect on the fact that the gospel is not about splitting off body and soul, but is about an integration of all that we are. And when you do that, you suddenly realize, wait a minute, this matters in worship as well. And so then the sense of possible formality of style, instead of being a cold formalism, can be a framework within which we can actually express our love of God in much richer ways with historical resonance and so on. And it's been rather amusing to me to see people who one had thought had gone way down the free church, low church line, coming right round the back and reinventing bits of sacramental practice from cold, as it were.